What's up, comic geeks? Welcome to another Script Heroes tier list in celebration of Batman Day. This week we are doing another Batman-themed tier list where we talk about his heirs, all of the people who could take on the mantle. Whether they should or not, we'll find out, but make sure you stick around to the end of the video to find out how to enter in a giveaway for this blind bag of Batman #1. Jay.
Yes.
We have a whole bunch of perspective Batmen here, and a whole bunch of tiers to sort them into. What tiers are we looking at today?
We have Batman AF at the top. We have In Another Universe right below that, and then Understudy, followed by Caped Traitor, then Vacant Crusader, and Darkshite.
That's right. So really, I think we're going to see contestants from all across the spectrum here.
Yeah, you made this list, so I only know the couple that I asked you to put in.
That's right, including a very weird one that we'll get to when we get to it. But we're going to start off with one of your requests, and I think someone who cannot be removed from the conversation when talking about Batman heirs. We're talking about Batman Beyond. Jay,
yes.
Thoughts?
Well, he is like the actual successor, like in at least in terms of what DC has decided is the actual successor.
We're not concerning ourselves with canon here.
I
just feel it's important to put that out up front. Yeah. Whether or not you canonically were Batman does not matter.
Yeah, I'm just saying he is like the actual successor, and I feel like that's where you would start the conversation with.
Sure.
He is, I think, one of the great creations that has been moved into comic books that didn't originate in comic books. He is, I think, very well suited to be the Batman successor. He has, I think, done a very good job as the Batman successor, and he's also the character that I think essentially needs it the most, because he doesn't, like, that is his thing, it's not a character that they pull in to do it sometimes. Like, he is just Batman.
He does not have an identity to fall back on.
Yes, exactly. To me, I have two people that I think are, in various situations, the Batman successors. Terry is my permanent Batman successor. Like, he is the guy who becomes Batman after Batman.
I think that is incredibly fair. I think he's an easy Batman AF to start with.
Absolutely. It's kind of his thing.
It's kind of his thing.
His kind of entire thing is being the successor to Batman.
But we have another black and red member of the Bat family.
Yeah,
next
Batwoman
up
over there.
Is Batwoman. Yeah, Kate Kane. She kind of came into the Batwoman role rather independent of like she was inspired by Bruce as Batman, but she's not like a direct under crony of him. Like she's not a Robin. She didn't train with him or anything.
Yes.
And I think that gives her a little bit of extra footing here, where it's not that she's like, reliant on being just like Bruce. She does have her own kind of situation going on. And I think that because of that, she has a lot of really rich story outside of her connection to Bruce. So like she has a lot of her own kind of Gotham City shenanigans. Yeah. She has some rogues that are unique to her.
I do feel the need. I feel like you're pointing out something that makes her a good character, but not a good heir, because that isn't the whole point of being, the heir.
See, but I think the nice thing about that is that it brings something fresh to it. I don't think that she's someone who should like be Batman, but I think that she is someone who can fill in as Batman. Like, she was the main character of Detective Comics for a while. Bringing the Terry.
I think the other rough thing about her, though, is like she's already Batwoman, so like coexisting with Batman. So like, what is her taking over when he leaves? Like, she's not really changing anything, is she?
That is a fair point. But I think that the thing that I'm envisioning for her, and we have a couple of other like women on this list, where it's like, even though you're not necessarily Batman himself, in those situations, it's like, okay, you ascend to Batwoman as primary protector of Gotham.
Yeah, my thought was more like, at least with the other female characters, I would think that they would then become Batwoman. She is You know?
Right. But Terry is Batman.
Well, yeah, but he is Batman after Bruce stops being Batman. He is not like a coexisting Batman that is then like, oh, well,
She
what does he do?
has been Batwoman without Batman present.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying though, like her starting point is there, so there's not really much to like ascend to as Heir.
That's
I don't
fair.
think she's bad. I'm just saying I don't know that she's like.
I would fully put her in the understudy category.
I agree. I fully agree.
I think that she's a pretty emblematic understudy where it's like Batman's gone, Batwoman can take over as primary protector.
Yeah.
But Jay, next up on this list is a character that neither of us have like a ton of experience with, I believe. It's
no,
Duke
but I
Thomas,
thought you have like
Signal.
some fondness.
I do have fondness for Duke.
Yeah.
Do you have thoughts on Duke, or would you like me to take him?
I mean, I don't know Duke much, so I don't mean this as mean-spirited, but based on I think where his place is in the Bat family, I feel like he has no right.
I would agree with that. I really like the stories that have happened around Duke. I think that he has a lot of potential as like, I think that of all of the people who have been like introduced as kind of a not Robin in the Bat family, I like his position the most. I really like that they use him as like a kind of daytime Batman. And like he has superpowers that come from light, so I think that makes sense. But I think that it makes him an absolutely terrible candidate to be Batman himself.
I don't know. So much to me is like gonna be on a more like, I don't know, personal than sort of like who I think has the right. Of course. Yeah. Like via their connection to Bruce and
and I think that Duke has a really interesting situation where he's quite heavily connected to Bruce. Like Bruce is a big part of his story, but he is not only a very small part of Bruce's story, but he's also like not super connected to the other Bat family members. Yeah. So as like kind of,
I don't know that anyone in the Bat family is reporting to him as the new Batman,
Yeah. That being said, I do think that, he has the skills. He's not shite. I think he is a vacant Crusader.
I think he'd be very vacant as the Crusader.
Yes. I think the Crusader position would feel vacant with him in it.
I agree. Yeah.
But I'm gonna let you go full throttle on this next one.
Up next Jason Todd?
Good old Jason Todd.
Can I just say that I do love his Batman suit?
It's pretty friggin' sick.
I think it's rad. No, here's my thing with Jason, right? Like, I'm not gonna argue he's gonna be a good Batman. Because in no way, shape, or form would he be a good Batman. I do still think he has more of a right to it than a lot of people on this list.
Oh yeah.
Like, he is, I think, the epitome of, like, high up on the has a right to, but really low on the really, really shouldn't be there.
And I think he also has a bonus of, I don't think he would want to be Batman.
I feel
I think they would say, hey, Jason, can you come and fill in as Batman? And he would say, absolutely the fuck not.
No, but also you say, hey, Jason, you can't be the new Batman. And he's suiting up and ready to kill you.
Yes, this is very true. This is the Jason Todd that we know and love.
No, I feel like he absolutely has the skill to be Batman as well.
Yes,
like he's
for sure.
Absolutely, high enough level and all that. But he just doesn't really stand for any of the things that Batman stands for. And also, Gotham City might be fucked if he's Batman.
Yes, absolutely. Villains and civilians alike.
That being said, I feel like he's pretty much... I feel like he's the epitome of Cape Trader, right? Like, I feel like that's... Right? Like, I feel like I feel like Duke's perfect for Vacant Crusader, I feel like Jason's perfect for Cape Trader.
Yes, exactly. They both fill those roles quite well.
I actually don't know that I know who the next picture is.
You mean the mustache isn't visible to you?
No, it's not.
Alfred Pennyworth.
Oh, it's too small. I couldn't...
You can just barely see his very small British mustache.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's an identifier. So why don't you take this one as a resident Alfred superfan?
As an absolute Alfred stan, put my boy in combat. I love to see Alfred on the streets. Like, I think that it's super funny every single time. I think that scene when he brings a shotgun to the door at Wayne Manor, hilarious.
Yes.
That being said, protect my boy at all costs. Oh wait, you already didn't. He's dead. he could not hack it as Batman, and that's just the truth. He's elderly. My poor boy. He would not be a good Batman, and we all know this. He is Darkseid.
I've looked at some of the rest of this list, and I don't know that he can go in Darkseid.
We can always move him around.
Here's what I'll say about Alfred. Can he really be Batman? No. Can he be the guy who dresses up as Batman so that Bruce can be like, look, I'm in the same room as Batman? Yeah. That's kind of his go-to role. So, you know.
Okay, I've been convinced, but I cannot put him higher than Vacant Crusader.
No. I feel disrespectful to put him where some of these people are
That's very fair, but stop looking ahead, you absolute cheater.
I have seen a couple of them, okay? It's hard not to. I'm trying my best not to. And there is still a lot that I don't.
There are a good handful left.
Yeah.
But our next one is somebody who has on many times claimed to be the heir of Batman. Next up is Damian Wayne.
Yeah, here's the problem with Damian. He wants to be Batman too much.
Yeah.
And I think, and we'll talk about this with a later character, I think one of the key things behind being and this is going to actually be very contradictory because I have Terry so high. But I feel like somewhat different circumstances. I feel like amongst kind of the more modern people, if you're going to like take over when Batman goes down, I feel like not wanting to be Batman is actually a really good quality to have. Yeah. Damian wants it so bad. I also feel like he is the son that deserves it least. And I just don't think, I think very similarly to Jason, I don't think, and maybe he, at least personality-wise, can kind of overcome it more than Jason because he kind of is at least kind of on a track to, not that he'll ever actually get there.
I was going to say, he's been given no room to have character development.
But he's kind of, I think they want him on a track to where he'll get better personality-wise. But also, I don't think, I mean, especially, I guess we're talking Heir, so it could be in the future when he gets more. I don't think he's quite there skill-wise yet, either. So
that may be a hot take to some.
Yeah, some people put Damian really, really high on like stuff, but I don't personally see Damian on the level of like Jason or Dick, you know?
That is fair.
Or like Cass.
Yeah. He physically could not have developed the muscles yet. He is physically not.
Yeah, he doesn't have the massive Batman silhouette either. He is tiny. He would be Bat Boy.
Bat Boy, indeed. I think that Damian is such a complicated pick. I feel like it would be bad for Damian for him to become Batman.
Yes.
Like,
I have no interest in seeing him as Batman.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that Damian should have some sort of globe-trotting adventures.
And I think that's a hot I think there are a lot of people that are on the like Damian future Batman train, but I feel like it just comes down to the biological son thing, which I think is stupid. You know,
it is stupid.
It's like I don't care that he's the biological son. Like, I mean,
I do.
Terry's also a biological son, so fuck you. That's the better to biological son option.
This is new Terry lore to me.
Oh yeah,
we can get into it later.
Amanda Waller did some weird shit. What
the fuck?
We'll get into that after we cut the recording.
I think Damian is a capes traitor.
I agree. I
think it's a betrayal to himself if he is Batman.
I honestly feel very similarly to him about Jason, but I think like the slight thing is I think Damian kind of like personality-wise will fit a little bit better, but like in terms of how he would work as Batman in terms of his actual capability, I think he's a little worse. So I think they're very interchangeable for me.
I agree. I would put Jason above just because I feel
like
the
silhouette in the cool suit.
He looks so much cooler. He looks so much
better.
Like
if you saw the two of them standing next to each other, you would say Jason was Batman.
Well, this is not actually Damian's actual Batman suit. He has an actual Batman suit that has like almost a Battinson-esque collar. Of like a future where Damian was seen as Batman.
Yeah, but he also was much bigger, which I do not believe he can get to that size at this point. I don't believe it.
Very, very fair. But speaking of small impish bats, next up on the list is Batmite.
This was one of the ones I noticed take over as Batman? I don't know why you put him on the list. I'm being honest with you.
Well, he's dressed as Batman. He could take over.
Let's just put him in Darkseid.
Yay. Darkseid.
Speaking of Darkseid,
oh my god.
Coming up next is Everyone's favorite character that me and Katie can't stand. It is Tim Drake.
It is Tim Drake, who canonically does not want to be Batman, which we have said is a good trait.
But wildly is the most similar character on this list to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, Tim is such like a little detective clone, right? Like one of the reasons that we don't like him as Bruce's Robin is because we feel like there's not a ton of tension there between the two of them. Like they don't have a lot of like kind of headbutting personalities. But oddly, I feel like that makes him better as Batman. Like when he's not in Bruce's shadow, I think that he has a much better leg to stand on as Batman. Like a lot more of a grounded detective style Batman. Like I don't think that he's going mano a mano with Killer Croc.
Why we don't have him in his Batman suit?
Look, he looks really sad in the pictures of him in his Batman suit.
Really? I think he looks rad.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, reasonable minds.
Yeah. My I will say my favorite Tim Drake stories are him as Batman. So
Jay just likes to see Jason beat the shit out of Tim.
No, his like actual you know he was like the Batman Beyond Batman for like a lot of the comics,
I did not know
right?
that. No.
More Batman Beyond lore for Katie.
Yeah, I know Batman Beyond lore.
Yeah, the
That's
first
what
time
I was thinking of when you were saying him and his Batman costume.
No, the first time the first time Batman Beyond is the Batman Beyond comics take place in the main continuity instead of the animated continuity. It's actually Tim.
Interesting.
Before they go to actually doing time. So yeah, Tim does some good he has some good Batman Beyonding. For sure. I agree with you. I actually think he does work a lot better as Batman than as like Robin because he just is too similar to work with Bruce. That being said, I still don't love him as a character. I just don't think he's the most interesting character in the world. But I think that his like right to the cowl is also kind of interesting because like I don't think he's as close
Robin
to
for a long time though.
He was, but I still don't think he's as close to Bruce as most of the other Bat family members. Because he's not actually a son. He's not adopted as a son, like or I guess ward because they didn't like to say son for a really long time. But he's not actually like Bruce's son / ward, like Dick, Jason, Damian. I don't think he's as close as Babs is or as Cass, you know. So like, I think that's a little bit out of there. That being said, again, I think he kind of does work as it. Skill wise, maybe his combat ability isn't quite there, but he is the world's second greatest detective, which is the saddest nickname in the history of comics. But you know, kind of works for Batman.
It does. And I'm going to push back with you a little bit. I think that he has like a lot of claim to the Batman cowl. Like he was Robin for so long. Like I think he has much more claim to the cowl than Jason does.
I guess that's. I mean, are you? Actually, I'm thinking even in both in real world and in comics, he's not Robin for that much longer than Jason was. Like, I mean, both in real world and in continuity.
I guess the fact that he had his own Robin series, like he had a lot more issues going on as Robin.
He did have iconically the first Robin standalone series.
Yeah, he got to exist as like a very robust part of the universe.
That's fair.
In a way that I don't think Jason did.
I do think that he works decently well as Batman. I feel like I'll give him the another universe because I think
he deserves it.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we'll shit on Tim about, but I think if there was an alternate universe and they're like, who should we pick as Batman for this alternate universe if it's not going to be Bruce Wayne?
Scrawny to be Batman though. Sorry.
Well, it's another universe. Maybe he's less scrawny.
I just wanted to throw that out there because we did talk about the silhouette a little bit before.
I
do think he's also a little scrawny.
He's also still a teen. Maybe he'll grow up and be Batman.
He will never grow up. He has been eternally
in another universe. And speaking of other universes, this one was put in by Jay's request. We have Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the Dark Knight.
I didn't know you were gonna like stick in things like Batmite, so I wanted a bad one.
Yeah, so this is the Easter eggy, if you can even call it that, Robin of Christopher Nolan's
His
Batman
middle name
trilogy.
is Robin, Katie. Don't you know that means he is destined to be the heir to Batman?
He, a 30-year-old man, is destined to be Robin. Jay, explain.
Well, I mean, the clear implication of the movie is that he's going to take over as Batman. Like, that is, like, the
Mhm.
thing. Like, oh, his middle name's Robin, and then he finds the Batcave. And, like, oh, yeah. Haha. Yeah, I don't know why they thought making his middle name Robin would make it, like, worthy of him being Batman's heir, but there's nothing in that film that makes me think he will last more than a week before he dies on the job.
Agreed. Batshite? I mean, Darkshite?
Yeah, dead Batshite. I think almost certainly
Dead
at this
Batshite.
point he's died.
Honestly, it's
trying
impressive
be
to
Batman.
have someone lower than Batmite. But I think he fits the bill.
This is another one that I don't know that I can make out because it just looks like Batman in the corner there.
This is from a very cute issue of Batman where Clark and Lois and Batman and Selina go on a little double date and they have to swap clothes.
The classic Batman Superman switcheroo, because canonically they have basically the exact same face, which is very funny.
Very importantly, I think, in this little clipping, in this little screenshot, he is wearing his glasses over his bat cowl. I just think that's important for everyone to know. So Jay, what do you think about Superman as Batman?
Yeah, I go back to the animated series where they switch.
Where he vibrates his vocal cords at the right frequency to emulate Batman's voice.
Physically, he is the best. He looks exactly like Batman because canonically they are basically the same man.
Yes.
Which is hilarious. So physically, he fits the part. Great. I don't know that there is a man who has more difficulty trying to act like Batman in the world. It's always hilarious as he attempts to act like Batman, but he does not know how to Batman.
No.
And it is a very, very funny.
He is ill-prepared to be Batman.
Yes, he does not have he is not mentally broken enough to be Batman.
That being said, I do think that in absolute 180 from the other two, I do feel like he belongs in the Caped Traitor tier.
Yeah, I don't think he's as I think you feel a lot better with him as Batman than either of Vacant Crusaders.
Yes, absolutely. Let's put him above Damien and below Jason.
Okay.
Because I feel like the other two are Caped
Traitors.
I still can't make out the glasses.
I was hoping once you actually put them on the tier list, I'd be able to see the glasses on the cowl. But I
can send you the screenshot.
Please do.
It's a very cute issue. It's very stupid. It's leading up to the wedding that never was. Oh jeez. Next,
I thought
up on
leading
the
up
list.
to the wedding is when Batman went into the magic universe and almost boned Wonder Woman.
Oh man, honestly, there were a lot of things that were prelude to the wedding. There was a lot of premarital.
Yeah, no, that was built for a while.
Yeah. Jay, who's next on the list? I know you recognize this one.
That's Gordon. That right there. That's Bat Gordon.
That right there is Jim Gordon with his mech suit.
Yeah.
I was about to say, well, it's better than not having a Batman. But actually, I'm pretty sure that the plot with this Jim Gordon Batsuit was that it then started brutalizing citizens. So it is just worse than not having a Batman.
I do want to throw out, I do think Gordon actually has a decent claim, to in terms of closest to Batman. He's in some, depending on how, I don't know what DC's doing with their flashback continuity half the time, but in a lot of cases he's Batman's first partner, which means something.
It means something. I also feel like he would get killed immediately.
Yeah, no,
he's just a guy.
I think he'd last a little bit longer than
definitely
Robin over there.
And I think that he would also be a better kind of force than Batmite. But I think that he's definitely solidly a dark shite.
Yeah. Sorry, Gordon.
Stick
we really
to being
got the double
commish.
barrel on our last two tier lists. Oh, by the way, if you didn't watch last week's tier list, ranking Batsuit designs, check that out. We also do not like Gordon's design as Batman.
That's right. But Jade, speaking of designs of Batsuits, next up is Azrael. What's your vibe on Azrael taking over?
I'll say this. He's quite a capable guy.
Quite a capable guy.
He could fuck you up as Batman. For sure.
Yes. beyond repair, some might say.
That being said, he both does not have the temperament nor the connection to have any right to be Batman.
Agreed.
I
think he's a little difficult to place.
Yeah.
Because I do kind of feel like he could be bottom of understudy.
Oh.
Like, I feel like, honestly, Batman's, off on some cosmic odyssey. Azrael can hang out for a week.
I feel like he's very similar to Jason, though, where I just think Gotham's fucked.
I mean, that's so fair. And I was thinking bottom of understudy, so being right next to Jason.
All right, yeah, let's put him bottom of understudy before
understudy.
we talk about the person that you really had no right to put on this list.
Here's the thing. When we were discussing this video idea, I very specifically said, this includes people who have never been Batman, and, like, perhaps will never be Batman.
I thought you'd extend in different places. I thought Barbara Gordon, not,
Here's the thing.
Harley Quinn.
Here's the thing. Barbara Gordon does not deserve the stink of Batman. She is doing fine on her own. There's, like, most people, it's like, oh, I don't know if you have claimed the Batman cowl. Honestly, Batman doesn't deserve to be portrayed by Barbara Gordon. She is too good for him. But we have a different option here, and that is Harley Quinn. Challenge you.
No. Put her at the very bottom, and
challenge you.
Put her at the very bottom, and
I agree, but I challenge you to tell me that it is unreasonable to think that DC would try that. Like,
I think you're much more likely that she would actually take over for Babs as Batgirl.
Maybe.
I could see them trying that.
The thing is, I was cursed with this thought and had to put her on there.
Though also, well, I don't think she would actually... I could see the premise of a DC book being Batman's gone, and for some reason they decide Harley Quinn has to be the person.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I'm not talking she's seriously taking over.
Honestly, I could see that being an episode of the Harley Quinn show.
Which I believe is what this screenshot is from.
Yeah, I do believe so. Harley Quinn, no. Let's move on.
All the way to the bottom.
Again, another very unserious. I don't know what you're doing here. You're very unserious.
That there are some fun ones. Here's the thing, Tommy Elliott.
Deeply unserious. You just want the Darkseid tier to be 50 long.
No, here's the thing. Tommy Elliott, if his plans weren't so rudely disrupted, was planning on just taking over Bruce's life, including being Batman. He trained for this.
Put him right above Harley, and let's move on.
What do you mean?
He's fucking...
Okay, but only because his plans were interrupted. I'm a Tommy Elliott apologist.
Put him above Harley, and let's move on.
No way.
You've broken this format.
No, I think that there's an argument to be made that Hush could be a good Batman.
No, there isn't. He's evil.
Okay, but have you considered what if there are greater evils in Gotham City?
No, I'm not. We're not seriously discussing this.
I think that Tommy Elliott is actually kind of a really cool idea to take over as Batman.
Oh my god.
DC, hit me up. I stopped reading Hush 2, but maybe I can make Hush 3 for you. I think he should at least go above Dead Man Walking Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I feel like being dead's better than being evil.
No. I'm putting him above him.
Oh my god.
Okay. The shenanigans are over. We have 2 left. Cassandra Cain. Jay, what are your thoughts on Cass as Batman?
I'll say, firstly, that I don't know Cass as well as I feel like I should for this. And I feel like a lot of people really, really love Cass and Cass's place in the Bat family. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to disrespect that. Because I do think Cass is a cool character from the bit of Cass. We're reading the current Batgirl book right now. And I do really, really enjoy Cass's characterization in that. And she is quite competent. She is known to be an incredibly, incredibly good fighter. Yeah, this is one where, like, I could definitely also see her like stepping in. I feel like similar to Batwoman if Bruce and like a lot of Batman is gone. I feel like again, don't know the character so well. I feel weird about like other Bat family members reporting to her as like the head honcho if like just Batman was gone, you know? But
See, I disagree. I think that Cass is somebody who like the entire family respects, and I think that she is someone who is similar to Damien in that she's like very dedicated to like the mission of being a bat, but I think in a much more I guess sympathetic way. Like I think that she's a lot more similar to Bruce in that regard than Damien is. Because I think that it's not coming from a sense of like it's coming from a sense of like wanting to help people. I think that she's one of the like most altruistic Bat family members, which I think is very important for being Batman. And true. I think that she's like extraordinarily competent. So I think that she's a full in another universe Batman.
I will bow to your better knowledge of the character.
I'm gonna put her above Tim.
I was thinking she was at least undersized. Like I said, in my limited knowledge of her, I felt similarly to Batwoman, but probably a little bit better because she actually has, that Bruce connection.
Yeah. Speaking of Bruce connections, the most connected boy.
Yes, this was I mentioned. I mean, if you can't tell by the fact that there's only one person in Batman AF, and I mentioned that I have two people in my head as the true Batman heirs. Like I said, I think Terry is the person who does take over from Bruce in the future. But I think if Batman is to die, go down, if he is gone, it is Dick Grayson's mantle to take up. It is actually like he is the actual heir who is like he would be if Batman had a will, and in that will he had to put Batman. I think it would be Dick Grayson that was in that will. I think that Batman.
Dick is also pretty much the only person on this list, and this is my hole in knowledge is obviously Terry. Dick is the only person on this list who I think could be Batman and be like Justice League Batman. Like I could not see Tim being a part of the Justice League or even Cass being a part of the Justice League. So I think Dick is I agree. He is fucking Batman.
Yeah. Like, and I feel like that we talked about like the thing, like I feel like the not want, and I feel like that's what makes Dick so great. He doesn't want it, but he's gonna do it because he knows he has to. Yeah. I feel like that makes for such a good Batman.
Yeah, it's that kind of altruism coming in. Like I feel like Batman is a character who borderline requires a lot of like self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
Where like a whole lot of Batman's thing is like self-punishing by being Batman.
And it's all like I also like in my I'm always going on like the and I'm sitting there and I'm like my issue with a lot of these other people, like as we're even talking about, whenever I say like I don't think that like it's because Dick's there. Like all of my things I'm like I couldn't see the other people reporting to this person is Batman. Or I couldn't see this person like being the person who has the right to take him. It's because Dick's there, and I just think that Dick is the like birthright's the wrong word because he wasn't. It's his adopted right, you know. Like
exactly.
He is the first child.
He is the eldest son.
Yeah, it is his right. It is his destiny.
Which I think is also another tick in Terry's column for being above him. Dick and Bruce are too close in age. If Bruce has retired, Dick's 20 years away from retirement.
That's why I'm saying like it's if he goes goes down. But when you get to it, has to be somebody who is decently younger. It has to be somebody who can be Batman for another 30, 40 years after Bruce, and that is Terry. Like Terry will still be Batman years and years and years.
Exactly.
But yeah, Dick is absolutely. If we're talking modern continuity, Batman's it's Dick Grayson there tomorrow, except it's not because DC always decides that they want to try somebody new. But
which is crazy because
it should be Dick. And
it should be Dick.
A lot of people would agree with that, except for now all the Damien fanboys think for some reason because he is biologically Bruce's son.
He's literally 14. He can't be Batman.
No.
But we have a completed tier list now. Are there any little scooches we want to do? The like neurotic part of my brain is like we could just move Jim Gordon up one, but then the logical part of my brain is like Jim Gordon does not deserve to be up one.
Honestly, like I'll give the argument for it since you said it.
Okay.
I feel like everybody below him is not just like
They
I mean,
are,
aside
like,
from the guy who's gonna
straight
die
fucking
in a day,
memes.
it's like, it's not just like, oh, they be a bad Batman. Like, I think Gordon is, he be a bad Batman. It's also, they have no fucking right, they should not. Like, I would be offended if they were Batman, you know?
That
Like,
is
Gordon
very fair.
has, like, at least the connection, and, like, I could, you know, again, he's Bruce's first partner. Bruce, I feel like if you told Bruce he was gonna take up the mantle of Batman, Bruce might be internally going, like, he might die. I don't know how I feel about that. But I feel like he would tell you, be like, I respect him enough that he could do that, you know?
You know, that is fair. I feel convinced. We can have our aesthetically pleasing tier list.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it's fair for him to be next to Alfred too, because like, you know, not quite capable, but also not like, I don't feel fucking disrespected the way that I do with the bottom tier.
I would also trust him to wear the suit if Bruce needed to be in the same room as Batman.
Yeah,
like I don't want him out on the streets, but
I just thought about that. It just made me think about, because I was about to say, yeah, but you know, the body type just wouldn't wear, and then I was like, wait, Alfred's body type absolutely should not work. Yeah. Why do they do that constantly?
It's a muscle suit. But funny. This is our finished tier list. Starting from the top, in the Batman AF category, Jay, who do we have?
We have Terry McGinnis and Dick Grayson in our top tier. Right. And then in another universe, we have Cassandra Cain and we have Tim Drake. In the understudy tier, we have Kate Kane and Azrael. Katie, you want to take us down the bottom tiers?
I sure will. In Caped Traitor, we have Jason Todd, Clark Kent, and Damian Wayne. In Vacant Crusader, we have Duke Thomas, Alfred Pennyworth, and Jim Gordon. And in our bottom tier, Dark Shite, we have Batmite, Tommy Elliott, aka Hush, a literal villain, Robin, the cop from The Dark Knight Rises,
we should look up his
name.
At
the very bottom,
I don't think either of us remember it.
No, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And at the very bottom, we have Harley Quinn.
Whoa.
Do you agree with our tiering? Do you disagree? Who do you want to see on this list who didn't show up?
Yes.
As Jay already mentioned, Barbara Gordon could be in the running. There are plenty of people, frankly, who would want the title of Batman who we didn't include here. Let us know who you want to see down below, and also let us know what tier you think they belong in.
Yeah.
Be
and
sure
let us know,
to...
Yeah, sorry, please.
No, go ahead.
I just always like to throw out, if you have ideas for tier lists in the future, please let us know. We're always looking for new tier lists that we can do.
Absolutely. And no matter what you comment, you're going to be in the running for this unopened blind bag of Batman #1. As a reminder, this is going to be a randomly inserted foil variant by a superstar artist. So leave a comment. If you're in the United States, you'll be entered in to have us ship this copy. That's right.
Make sure.
So subscribe, leave a comment, and we will throw you on the wheel to win this copy of Batman #1.
That's right. You don't want to miss out on that, because I think they're getting a little bit harder to get now as we move further and further away from release date.
Sure are.
But yeah, I think that's everything we have for you guys here today. Like I mentioned earlier, you should definitely check out our Batsuit tier list as well that we did last week. There's some of the same faces, as well as a bunch of actual Bruce Wayne costumes on there. But as always,
including my favorite, Batman of Zur-En-Arrh.
But as always, that's all we have for you guys this week. So we hope to see you next week. Comic Geeks!